With all the coverage surrounding the 10th anniversary of Brexit, have you noticed how almost every news report talks about it in exactly the same way? They usually treat it like a political soap opera full of high level gossip, or they treat it purely like an economic spreadsheet focused on GDP numbers. But if you only look at those two angles, you miss the most important part of the history. There are actually three different stories of what happened, but we only ever see two of them. The first is the political bubble, which is just elite gossip about closed door arguments in London. The second is the corporate world, which focuses entirely on trade data and tariffs. But the third story is the one that took place on the streets. It is the story of millions of ordinary people, many of whom had not voted in decades, deciding to show up in 2016. If you look at the towns left behind the modern economy, you realize that a lot of Leave voters were not actually thinking about European bureaucrats. They were looking at their own communities. They were looking at closed factories, disappearing local pride, and decades of neglect from their own government. Back then, every major authority told them to vote to stay. The politicians, the banks, the big corporations, and mainstream media all said the same thing. Because of that, the public used the vote as a giant pause button. It was a rare moment where regular people had the power to give the entire establishment a massive thumbs down. They knew it might not fix their lives, but they felt things were already broken anyway. But the real problem is what mainstream politicians did right after the vote, which completely changed British politics. I'm breaking that down in part 2, which will be in my profile available very soon. Please stay tuned for that.